I'm buying Ghost Energy
Is that
this
your
week.
favorite flavor?
No, orange cream is my favorite flavor.
Cap. I call it cap.
Nah, I mean they make a lot of good flavors. I think my favorite's probably the citrus.
I like the cherry limeade.
Cherry limeade's really good. But
More than this one?
Yeah, I'm not an orange cream person.
Okay.
Not even,
well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not
that's
an orange
crazy.
cream guy.
But yeah, I'm buying Ghost Energy. I'm buying energy drinks this week.
Okay.
And in like specifically, Ghost. Sponsor us, Ghost. Welcome to episode 6 of the 3 in the Paint podcast. Jeremiah Solomon, Leo Bias, Mark Haynes with you all today. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. We got a good show today. We're talking sports gambling. We're talking the Rockets and their rise in the West. We're talking about Kyrie Irving. We're talking about all these different topics. So we're going to start with sports gambling in the NBA specifically, but sports
Coming in hot.
Yeah, but sports as a whole. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Like, this is obviously kind of turning ugly in some of these situations. So,
Right.
what do you think about that?
So the first time we saw it, we were all at the Kings game, and I was like, wait, Jontay Porter is being accused of gambling and on the overs and the unders, and I'm like, no way. I look it up, and I'm like, damn, this is true. So we start looking into it. Next thing you know, both Jeremiah and I get into a huge heated conversation about sports gambling in general, and specifically the NBA, and how Jay thinks that you shouldn't be allowed to bet on yourself. And I'm like, well, if you're going to promote it as an organization, why can't you? And I know there's a slippery slope to that. And, you voiced your opinion, which I'm sure you will right now. And, Mark had his opinion, and then I had my opinion. And I just feel like we're at the point where, for me at least, it's super black and white. If you're going to promote it, then you have to allow it. Because we all, I get it. People don't want to admit that players know what their overs and unders are. They know what the hell their overs and unders are, right, Mark?
Oh, yeah. You guys, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, that's Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
who feels bad when he doesn't hit the over or the under, and then people lose their parlays. He literally said that today. So, with that said, I feel like the NBA should stop promoting all these gambling sites. But the reality is, as Jay said, it's a business. It's a massive income stream for them.
And we still would like them to sponsor us, too.
Facts.
Oh, absolutely. FanDuel, DraftKings, Prize Picks, all y'all.
Give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. But that's crazy. But that's honestly a crazy take. Like,
Why is that crazy, though?
it's crazy because of the integrity of the game. Like, it completely goes out the window.
The integrity of the game went out the way when the NBA started saying that DraftKings and all these other guys are fine. Because they, look it, and this is how stupid
that's
it is,
crazy.
bro.
No, that's crazy.
They don't allow you to gamble and saying, well, you can't bet on the Kings Lakers, but you can bet on the individual player stats. Bro, that's effing gambling.
Yeah.
Like, that's gambling.
Well, okay,
why are they so, they're not transparent whatsoever. And that bugs me, bro.
Look, and
they're so fake about it.
Look, in every industry, the leagues or the oversight committees or the government, whatever, they always lag behind the trends, right? Because the world moves fast, right? So I get all of that. Like, I understand what you're saying. You have these leagues promoting these betting sites and promoting this entire new, basically,
it's not
industry.
called betting, though. It's called fantasy basketball, which is fucking stupid.
I get it. But here's the problem. I'm fine. Like, the MLB's policy, obviously Shohei Ohtani and Ippei Mizuhara, I believe is how you say his name, they're obviously caught up in baseball and that whole scandal where $4.5 million, illegal LA bookie. I get all that. The MLB's rules, for the most part, on gambling, I think, are perfect. And the MLB went through their gambling phase a long time ago, obviously with Pete Rose, right? Like, their big moment of, like, this is potentially a huge problem. Obviously, Pete Rose was a manager at the time, not a player. He swears he never bet on his own games. But here's the problem. The MLB's policy is you can bet on anything as long as it's not your team and your stats. Or Major League Baseball. You can bet on anything but Major League Baseball. I think that's the best policy, right? Like, I don't care if Shohei Ohtani bets on the NFL or the NBA. That should be totally permissible. He's just another person.
Why can't he bet on the A's?
Then? I also think he should be able to bet in baseball, except his stats.
That's fair.
His games.
But when you say that you can, that's crazy to me.
But his games, like, your point at the Kings game was they should be able to bet on their own games.
Or just don't have it at all. But to me, it's
no, but
more
that's
like
crazy. You can't have a position of that much that's that radical. It can't be nothing at all, or let the players bet on their own
or
games.
at least let the players bet on other teams. Then
Or I could
for
just
that.
let my friend bet for me.
right.
I got a lot of friends. I'm not
But that's problematic, bro.
It is.
It is, which is the integrity has gone out. That's my point. But there is no integrity no more.
Who was that? Wasn't that
Just say it.
Wasn't
Yes or no?
Wasn't that Rudy?
No, I think for the most part, professional athletes do not bet on their own games, even through
is fine.
Their friends. I think there's a decent amount of integrity left in that because of the penalties that most
on
people
them,
endure.
but like not on the game, right? Because that shit's out the window. The moment you said DraftKings is allowed.
Why does that ruin the integrity of the game?
Because it's being gambled by billions.
Was that Rudy Gobert that said that? Like recently, was that Rudy?
Oh, Rudy made the whole thing with the refs and his comments of the refs.
Yeah.
It's like, sports gambling and all that.
I'm just shocked. Like you agreeing with Rudy.
Yeah, right.
That is crazy.
I don't like Rudy, but
Okay, what's your take on this, Mark? Because
that.
let me see if I have the positions correct. You think that it should just be outlawed entirely, or you should let players bet on literally anything they want, including their own games. And my position is,
I guess I can retract that. If you won't allow that, at least allow them to bet on different games.
I'm totally in favor of that.
On that slate.
Like literally, De'Aaron Fox,
To be able to bet on the
who by the
Celtics.
way, just disclaimer, I have no idea if De'Aaron Fox is in favor of this.
Right.
This is not representing him at all. De'Aaron Fox or whoever should be able to bet on Lakers Celtics to their heart's content. Like, why not? What's the problem with that? But De'Aaron Fox should not be allowed to bet on Lakers Kings.
That's fair. I mean, I guess I'll go back on that.
And what I think about the whole problem for me is like the specific things that you can bet on. Like, for instance, let's say De'Aaron is, since we talking about De'Aaron, let's say he's questionable for tomorrow's game. But then you can bet, all right, I could bet if he's going to play on Friday against Dallas.
Sucks.
He can literally say, if he wanted to, it's like, oh, if I put, $1 million here and I know I'm going to play, I can win this bet, or I could tell my friend or whoever. That's where but if it comes into where it's just like wins and losses.
No, you shouldn't be able to bet on anything pertaining to you or your team at all. Like, so that should not be allowed. A player should not be allowed.
But isn't that a slippery slope, though?
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's the same thing that we deal with in the world, in the that we don't do a good job of in the world of politics and stocks.
That's
right?
just like
you have politicians out here that make millions of dollars
they're moving
on these trades because they were in a committee meeting.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, NVIDIA is going to get a huge government contract.
But why?
Oh, hammer NVIDIA's stock. Like, let's or
So why do we allow it there?
we
and
don't
and like not in the NBA.
The only reason they get away with it is because they run the show, bro.
Bro.
It's like Adam
If
Silver.
they really
It's like
wanted
Adam
to do
Silver
it,
betting
they'll
on the
stop
NBA.
it. Yes or no? If they really wanted to stop these politicians from doing it, they would stop it.
No, because the politicians are the ones who have to stop themselves, which will not happen.
Right.
That's the problem. If there was a governing body above the politicians, then yeah, it would be outlawed. But the problem is the politicians have to themselves say, I don't want to make all this money off of insider knowledge trades, which is obviously not going to happen. But in the NBA, the players are a part of the rulemaking with the players committee and stuff like that. But Adam Silver and the league and the competition committee is really what determines what happens in the NBA. So since you have that authority and to maintain the integrity of the sport itself, like we're talking the dribbles, the shots, the steals, the blocks, the game itself, everything in the game.
That shit's out the window, bro.
No, it's not though. It's still not that. Like basketball, sports would become unwatchable, bro.
Are you saying it's scripted?
I'm not saying it's super scripted, but there are moments where I'm like, really, you're going to allow a player to carry the ball, walk 3 steps, and not even call the damn thing.
Yeah, but that's not about being scripted. That's just because the refs don't ref the games anymore.
Or is it because the refs have something in play?
Yo,
Can the referees bet?
this is Rudy Gobert sitting right here.
No, it's not. We saw it in 0-2 with the Kings.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it's-
well, okay, well,
it's-
that, yeah, I mean,
It's happened though.
yeah, no, that's
So,
well
to your
publicized.
point,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We're saying,
And if you don't know
we're
about
saying
that,
different
look it
things.
up. 2002
We're saying
Kings.
different things.
Yeah.
You talk about integrity. There is no integrity. Like, we have to stop saying that shit. Like, that's what I'm talking about. There's
Basketball is
zero
entertainment
integrity.
now.
It's literally entertainment.
And that sucks.
Of course, no. But
So yes, it's extreme to say. Well, I admit it. It's extreme to say that a player should be able to bet on himself. But that's how I'm literally painting the picture, because all of this is a joke to me.
Or betting,
like the
betting
moment
on
they
yourself.
allowed it, I'm like, why?
No, but your argument is not sound. It just isn't. Like, I understand.
Why?
There's still maintains.
Make money in different ways.
No, but
they did it for years.
Before DraftKings came into play, like we knew people were gambling,
right?
But the NBA was like, no, hell no. The moment they opened the floods to DraftKings and fantasy basketball, and they covered it up with it's fantasy basketball, it's not gambling. That is crazy to me, bro.
Okay, but
how do you not see that though? Please,
I see. What
right, like that's fascinating to me.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't understand how you sit there and say that there's no integrity in the game left or sports at all.
There isn't.
The players in games, they are not thinking about the overs and unders in their games primarily. I guarantee you. You could sit there and laugh and be like, "Oh, it's just naive or whatever."
Are you saying they're not thinking about it at all, or they're aware of it and don't care?
I'll say this. I'll say
aware of it.
I'll say the majority of players are unaware in their games. The vast majority, and those who are, I don't really think they care that much. You think LeBron really cares what his over under is?
He doesn't.
You think Jason Tatum really cares what his over? I understand he just said
It's a different conversation though.
You really think
are they
he
aware
cares?
of it though? He's saying, are they aware of it?
Maybe
they're aware.
But
of
the
it.
reason they're
but
aware,
do they care? No.
But here's a hot take. Maybe the reason they're aware of it is because people like you. This isn't a slight on you, but people like you, and this whole discussion of like, we're making it more important to the integrity of the game than it needs to be. We're over publicizing it, right?
Why?
Like, players only know what their over unders
Jontay Porter is under scrutiny because he bet on this under. Like, what do you mean?
I know, I get
That's
that.
a product of the NBA allowing DraftKings to be legal.
You can't take the fringes of a situation though and then make policy out of it. That's never a good way to make policy. To take the fringe and then to make an entire rule about it. It's just because the vast majority of NBA players aren't betting on their unders.
They have deemed gambling as bad, but then they allow fantasy basketball to be good.
No, they haven't deemed it as bad. They've deemed betting your own games as bad.
No, they've deemed gambling overall bad, period, for years. And the moment they scripted it differently.
No, I get that.
Now it's fantasy basketball. Now it's okay.
So I can see what you mean by that. Like,
right.
Like, and even as a society as a whole, right? Like that was the kind of the way that society.
And that was and then that was passed to why? Because they want the general recreational fan to have more interest in these basketball games, like in November.
Well, that and they want the revenue.
October.
That and they want the revenue, and the governments want the revenue too through the taxes. Like it's a revenue generating machine for everyone involved. The leagues, the local governments,
there is no
everyone.
more. To his point, there is no more integrity. It's all entertainment. It's all money, right?
No, but I'm saying games
that's what it looks
themselves.
like,
I'm saying the games themselves still possess. If you're not allowing players to bet on themselves, it still possesses the entirety, the wholesomeness, I guess, of the sport being played on the court.
So if you allow players to bet on different games, does it still have the wholesomeness to?
I think so. Because how are we going to? No, I don't think it's. How is it a slippery slope? I just don't want.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just don't want players to be able to bet their under,
fair.
right?
That's fair.
And then go out and they deliberately go out and miss four of
that's like super
4
extreme,
or 5
like
shots,
or even like
they just go take 5.
They have ones like, oh, is he gonna shoot 2 threes this game?
That too.
No, exactly. You can't. And by the way, the money would be. Okay, here's a great point. I think that we've just glossed over. So I still think that there's integrity in the sport, and if there weren't, you'd know because the money would be on it like that. The money would see it, and you immediately wouldn't be able to bet on things like that because the money Vegas would pick it up, bro. Vegas would be like, oh, players are seeing their takes 2 threes a game, and they're all just like taking 5 now.
Isn't that how
Vegas would pick it up like that,
bro? Because at the end of the day, we still have percentages. We have
Vegas don't miss, bro.
70% of the public, right?
Vegas don't miss.
So I can look at the numbers and be like, 1 million people voted or betted on on the under, and 30% betted on the over. We already see it though.
What I'm saying
your
is,
point?
if the players,
Bro, there's billions being gambled. It's not just the players.
No, but what
if
I'm saying,
Jontay Porter bets 10 grand.
No, I'm not
that's
saying
nothing.
No. The players' money aside, if the players start looking at those numbers and then throwing them way out of proportion, Vegas would pick up on that like immediately.
They're not gambling enough to throw those numbers out.
That's why I'm saying there's still integrity in the game, because I don't think 99.9% of the players.
There's a little bit of integrity, Mark.
Yeah, they're sneaking
around.
There's like a little bit of integrity left in the game. Okay,
no,
you're right.
There's eons more than you give it credit for.
Hey, there's some people that don't believe in betting, so there's a little integrity.
This
in
is
there.
why this is why the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the UFC. Golf, hockey. That's why all these sports are still more popular than WWE, because it's just purely scripted. You're saying that main American sports are just WWE, where you're out there with a literal script.
No,
and you're just going at it.
I'm saying it's entertainment.
It was downhill when they had to switch from WWF to WWE. That's when it was downhill. I don't know if it had to do with betting or not, but it was downhill since then.
And by the way, you can bet on WWE.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
What can't you bet on? They're gonna have our show on a bet. They're gonna be like, are we gonna say flannel guy in this episode? It's coming.
And I'm gonna look at the numbers and be like, we're gonna say that shit today.
Hey, and know who's gonna bet? Me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like very like at our outro. I'm gonna be like, and the flannel guy out to get that over, right?
But that's my point. Like, this is crazy. And again, I get Jay. Yes, players shouldn't be able to do it, but that don't mean that his best friend or the best friend of the best friend can't bet on that. Like,
no, I get it, but what you're saying, in my opinion, and the viewers can pick this apart, but what I feel like you're saying, the impact of what you're saying, it's like, why even like sports? There's this like, give them up. Like, there's no integrity in them. Why even bother? Like, who cares who wins the chip?
It's like fun to watch.
Because it's still fun to watch. 100%.
Why is it fun to watch if
because you have the best athletes in the world doing something that some people grew up loving?
Not when they bet they're under.
If they're over or under, it has.
We've already discussed the whole that they can't bet. I'm just saying integrity in general. Like, there is no integrity in general, because the moment the NBA, again, the moment they allowed fantasy basketball to
we might be defining integrity a little bit differently. What I mean by integrity of the game is, I mean like the pureness of the sport.
So you're
on the
holding
court.
on to like the last bits of it by not allowing players to bet on it.
He ain't done with the 90s.
Right. To your point. So he's still holding on to like, well, if players can't bet, there's still integrity, which that's your position. I respect it. That's fine. We're saying more of a general view of things. Like, the moment they allowed things to happen, the integrity is out.
Things changed.
Things changed.
And I know we've talked a lot, Mark, and you haven't had as much input, but do you agree with that? Like, what is that your perspective as well? Like what Leo's describing there?
I get both your points, but I'm more of like, I just think it's kind of something that's unfixable. Like, I think it's an ugly, just like it's an ugly world we live in at times. I think basketball and the purity of basketball has been tarnished to some degree
by gambling.
That's a part. It's a part. It's a part. You can say gambling. You can say social media. You can say it's a lot of different things. And I think that's just a new part of the game. Are we dealing with it the right way? I wouldn't say we are. I would say we're probably not doing it correctly. But it's new. This is a new thing that the NBA is trying. It's definitely bringing more eyes to the games and to the TV screen and all of that. So, I mean, it's working in some degree, but is it just pure? Is everything just purely basketball?
Like, how was Charles Barkley? Right. How was Charles Barkley, KG, Jamie Foxx making commercials on MGM Graham? Oh, bet on the app, you get $10.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take the over on. What integrity are we talking about? If do you see my point there?
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand what
you're
saying.
holding on to the last bit of the integrity.
No, I
agree with that.
I applaud with it. I applaud you.
But then people are going to call me naive. But I don't think what my take is naive. I'm just saying, as long as you don't let the players bet on their own games, I think you maintain a pretty high level of the game on the court being played as being just the game, like a pretty high level, right?
It's fair, yeah. For sure.
Like obviously, like NBA
We're
players.
saying two different things right now.
Yeah, NBA players will do, they do or sports athletes in general will do a lot of things for a lot of different reasons, right? A lot of them have these massive personal brands because of the ability that they can take to monetize their brand as an athlete, right? That's not a problem. That has tarnished the integrity of the game or whatever, but it hasn't impacted negatively, in my opinion, what you see on the court. The players in professional sports are the most skilled and crafty that they've ever been.
We're agreeing on that.
So like
I'm acknowledging
I agree,
what you're saying.
So I agree to Mark's perspective that like, yeah, it's a little bit less of just the game these days. You're getting, TV deals, social media deals, brand deals, gambling, like all that. It's you see way more of the business side these days.
It's an influence,
but I don't think that's a negative thing. And I think that's where these athletes
We're saying the same thing. We're just saying it differently.
These athletes are making more money than ever have too.
Sure.
By far.
Sure.
Hey, but since we talking about betting,
Yeah.
I know there's a team out there that nobody was betting on at the beginning of the season, and that's the Houston Rockets.
All right. It's a great transition, bro. Legendary.
Yeah,
transition.
you see me?
That one.
Pat
That was
myself on the
classic.
back right there.
He was thinking about it. Dude.
Hey, I was trying. I was like, I'm gonna get him. But
Mark Haynes, ladies and
are
gentlemen.
the Houston Rockets for real, and are they a threat to make it into this play-in?
I mean, that's a great segue. And yes, the Rockets are for real.
Why?
Why? Because they're physical. They've shown the ability to play physical basketball, which
I agree with you.
Which, lo and behold, the NBA is allowing people to play physical basketball again. Oh, look at that!
Right.
Like
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy, but the people clown around and say that the NBA hasn't changed the way the game's being officiated, but that's ridiculous. It's clearly the NBA is allowing more physical play right now. Clearly,
Like, why would they do that though? Like, why wait to the second half of the season?
I mean, that's a good question, but
is that integrity or is that not integrity? See what I'm saying?
I mean, they didn't wait till after the season. They didn't wait till after the season
or the playoffs, right? They started at the second half of the season this year.
Yeah, about the
typically
All-Star break,
they wait until the playoffs. But now, let's do a little bit earlier.
But see, I think this is a move that the NBA is making as a whole to allow more physicality. And I think you're going to see it next year from the jump.
Or maybe they're gearing it up for the play-in in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I mean, could be, but yeah, I think the Rockets have a decent shot to overtake the Warriors, the Lakers, for the 10 seed and make it in. I mean, they're good. I mean, obviously they lost Şengün. We'll see how that all develops moving forward.
So they're saying that
but,
he potentially could come back for that playing game. So they haven't ruled him out, but since he's been out, to your point, they've been a lot more physical, which is nice to see, right? They're being coached by a guy who was extremely physical, and Ime Udoka. Well-coached team, very young team, very athletic team. And now with Şengün out, they've been able to be better defensively because Şengün isn't the best defender, obviously, but it's really put an extra onus on a guy like Jalen Green, your boy, who is really inspired right now. I don't know why, but the guy's playing very well.
Great time to be a Rocket fan, man.
Yeah, he has been playing great, but also, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but the guy, Memphis guy who signed the deal with the Rockets. Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, can't believe I blanked on that. Dylan Brooks has been playing well.
Yeah.
He honestly has been one of my more surprising guys in the NBA this year. I thought.
Really.
Yeah, I was going to say why.
For me.
Why?
Because I didn't think he was all that when he was on Memphis, but
that's listening to social media too much.
No.
When they were saying he was going to be playing
great on the Kings.
No. Stop the cap. It's not me just on social media. I was watching those games and him being a non-impact.
He was an all-NBA defender last year.
I'm not talking about his defense. We all knew he could play defense. I'm talking about
so you
his
said non-impact,
offense.
though.
No, I'm saying his offensive production was like not all that. I didn't think he was all that. But he's proven me wrong, like personally. Look, I didn't have any public takes negatively about Dylan Brooks. I'm just saying, I mean, you don't have to jump down my throat. I'm just saying.
I don't want to jump down the flannel, guys. What's the over and under on flannel to this show? 5?
5.5. Flannel.
You messed up my Dylan Brooks stare I was trying to do. I was trying to get
but
the
Dylan
stare
Brooks has
going.
impressed me. So I think they're a good team. They've got good pieces, and again, physicality I think is the biggest reason they're for real.
Now maybe this is a wild thing to ask, but Şengün is out. We all believe he's a great player, future All-Star.
Yeah, definitely.
He's only 21.
Are they better without him?
No.
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 No. Where'd that come from?
No.
I'm just saying,
But
like
the record has been solid without him.
Yeah.
But it was good with him too. Like
No.
it's almost like the whole John
Just
Morant.
coincidental.
Like
Yeah,
it's almost
yeah.
like the whole are you better without John Morant when they were good?
Clearly not.
now,
And like the answer was no, but the record was like 22-5 without him, which was absurd.
I will go this way though. I wouldn't dare say that they're better without him.
Yeah.
But what could be true is Jalen Green might be better without him.
Yeah, I mean that's not crazy, but
Because what he's been doing since he's been out, obviously a lot of people gonna say other events have happened as well that's motivating him. But
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it
That's
is.
crazy. That's
Because like
crazy.
Şengün opens him up a lot off his screen assists, a lot like Sabonis.
Yeah, well, and I think basketball can be plenty coincidental in that way, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like the Kings played well early this year when Fox went down. Like, they went through that lull, but then they played well right before he got back. So it's like, I think a lot of that is just coincidental. I definitely don't think they're better without him. And to your point about Jalen, I mean, obviously he has like a bit more of an expanded role at this point.
Right.
But
he takes more shots now.
yeah, but I don't think there's a way they can work
And
together
he
where
was
they're
great
both
tonight
productive.
against the Thunder. It was
Yeah,
very
he was.
good.
Yeah, 37 and almost
Jeez,
was it almost
30.
a triple double.
You know,
like
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. He reminds me of a lot of Fox's speed off that pick and roll.
He's really fast
because he just hits it so hard, and he's able to control and contort his body very much like De'Aaron Fox.
Tyrese Maxey-esque.
I think he's more. I think he's faster, more explosive than Maxey.
I mean, I think
Maxey is a lot faster than I thought. Like
He's
seeing him,
quicker. I think
yeah,
fast as Fox and Jalen. I think those guys are fast, like from end to end.
You don't think Maxey's fast?
I think he's fast, but he's not on that level. Like there's tiers.
Okay. I think
like
he's on
those
that
two guys
level.
are just freaks, though.
yeah. And
See
then the
what I'm
way Jalen gets in the air,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like-
that is wild.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
that guy.
The next topic.
But no, yeah, I agree. I think the Rockets are definitely a threat.
I agree with that.
They have to they are a game behind the Warriors, who the Warriors won tonight without Draymond.
That was a crazy one too. Boy, Steph was crying.
Powered by Stephen Curry Tears trademark.
Yeah.
No, that was crazy. I mean,
Were
just
those real tears?
oh yeah, I think so.
He didn't get poked in the eye.
He might have.
He might have.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe I didn't watch. Full
Fans say
disclosure.
that he gets fouled a lot, and they never call it.
I mean, full disclosure. I didn't watch the full game, but like that seemed like
I'm sure somebody asked him too.
Yeah.
Warriors media.
Slater.
I don't know
maybe.
about that.
Slater, maybe.
Somebody asked.
Slater might.
Somebody
Might have. But I don't know. I
especially
don't know
if they
if,
seen it.
I don't know if that's the thing you ask Steph, but
Players get asked some amazing questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we know.
yeah, sometimes less amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been some exciting press conferences of late.
man.
And,
Shout
in the
out
Northern,
to us media members.
the Northern
Yeah.
California media has been poking the bear.
We're trying to be a lot like the Mexico media, where there is no rules and you can literally say and ask whatever you want, which is crazy, by the way. Shout out to Team USA, man. Confederate champions. Let's go.
Yeah. So
Federation.
what? I was gonna say Confederate champions. What are we doing here, bro? What are we going?
CONCACAF Confederations Cup. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I missed the ION. That was funny. 3 times in a row, by the way. We've beaten Mexico 3 times in a row.
That's crazy.
That's good stuff, right
Clip
there.
it, chat. Oh my, that's wild.
Oh, man.
The Confederate champions.
Confederation. CONCACAF Confederations.
That's a wild
Think.
Oh man, you can
think
fact check Leo in the comments.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I caught it myself right before he said it. I'm like, oh shit, I said Confederate.
Oh man, Leo wilding today.
So let's get straight to it.
Right.
This week's Facts or Cap. Kyrie Irving is not the most skilled basketball player ever to play this game.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's not.
He is not.
You want to go first, Leo?
Go ahead. I want to hear what you say. That way I can just bounce off of you.
I don't have a ton of input here. I don't think you can go wrong either way. In my opinion, it's kind of like in my opinion, it's kind of like, oh, your best shooting guards of all time. Like they're all great. Like all those top guys are all great. I think Kyrie is the most skilled player I've seen in person. So for me, I've seen film of guys.
Fair and safe.
I've seen film of guys like I've seen film.
Flannel guy with the safe tape.
I've seen AI. I've seen guys like that. Obviously, there's a lot of highly skilled players in the history of the league and stuff. But I mean, Kyrie's definitely up there. So I think he's the most skilled player ever, just based on the crazy stuff that he does and his ability to do everything basically. Like I watched him in person the other night, right? He dunked.
Yeah.
He took countless people's ankles. He hit step back threes.
Yeah.
He passed. He has the entire pack. Like he's just skilled.
Yeah.
And he has the ability, and he also has a high basketball IQ. So you don't always get those two things together. I think he's the most skilled person ever.
I'm gonna say Cap. He is the most skilled person ever.
Yes, I'm gonna agree. Cap.
Yeah,
Cap. Okay, yeah.
Cap. I mean, the closest thing to him, I would say, is Steph. Which, if you say Steph, I respect that because Steph is so good.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna have to say, I guess it's a sweep of Cap because I think he is.
Yeah.
Reason I say is because like, how many players in the world in the history of the game can you say they're the best at this, the best at that? I think he's the best. He has the best handle ever.
Ever. Okay.
I also think he's the best finisher around the basket ever. Even at 6'2". The way he
more than
finishes,
Bronze.
You're
saying the way or just finisher?
I'm just saying finisher. Because the thing is, we've seen Bron, even though y'all know how I feel about Bron.
Yeah.
But we've seen him smoke layups. You don't see. When have you ever seen Kyrie Irving smoke a layup?
That's true. That's a good point. All right.
You're done with the early 2000s, huh?
I might be done with it, man. I don't know, man. Bro, 2003, I ain't done with it yet, but he's still in the league, so we ain't done. When he gone.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, and again, there's plenty of players out there that's like, this guy's skilled, right? But I think that's perfectly reasonable to say all that. So now we're doing our buy or sell segment where we're all going to buy something or we're going to sell something. And this week, I'm going to buy Ghost Energy. So Ghost Energy drinks
that's my favorite.
Are incredible. They are,
My favorite.
This is the orange cream. I love the red berry, the citrus one. They're all good. I'm buying Ghost Energy
Is that
this
your
week.
favorite flavor?
No, orange cream is my favorite flavor.
Cap. I call it Cap.
Nah, I mean, they make a lot of good flavors. I think my favorite's probably the citrus.
I like the cherry limeade.
Cherry limeade's really good. But
More than this one?
Yeah, I'm not an orange cream person.
Okay.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not
that's
an orange
crazy.
cream guy.
But yeah, I'm buying Ghost Energy. I'm buying energy drinks this week.
Okay.
And in specifically Ghost. Sponsor us, Ghost. What are you buying? What are you selling today, Mark?
Good.
What I am buying is medium steaks.
Facts.
I'm buying medium steaks.
Medium
As you
rare
know, man, you
or
grow
medium?
up medium. I'm medium. I don't know. Medium rare is like I'm working on there. I might be saving up my money, but medium I could do medium. But I grew up, on the west side of Fresno. But those who know me know where I come from or whatever. We're in the hood, and in the hood, you used to then eat stuff that wasn't well done. Yeah. And the pink, we didn't want no pink.
None.
But this is gonna sound crazy, but give me the pink. give me the pink. I love the pink.
Put that on the shirt, bro.
So I'm buying steaks.
Yeah, Mexicans the same way.
Filet mignon.
They cannot do pink, and I don't even know why. I'm like, how you gonna get a filet mignon and not get a pink, Jeremiah?
No, I don't know how. But plenty of people
Someone said, "Well done." Well done.
No.
The waitress is looking at you like, "What?"
People be saying crazy stuff when it comes to steak, and they be adding ketchup and like, nah, man, it's yeah. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. What are you buying or selling this week, Leo?
I'm gonna go on top of that because I've heard a story where someone ordered a Wagyu, like the Kobe, like the most expensive meat, most expensive steak, and they ordered it well done. Wow. Right, so
that's crazy.
I'm selling. I'm buying, or how do I say?
I think I did it wrong too.
Yeah.
No. You're buying. You're buying.
Is it a sin is it a sin to order Kobe Wagyu, A5 Wagyu? Well done.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you better not. You better not.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll be off this show tonight. This will be your last
It's
show.
a sin, right?
Just go eat chicken tenders or something.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
Like, just go eat something else. But you can't buy or sell the same thing. You got to buy or sell something else. What are you buying? What are you selling this week?
Oh, man. I can't get into politics on this show. No politics.
That's crazy.
Shoes. Okay.
You're buying shoes, selling shoes?
I'm buying the fact that the Steph Currys that Jeremiah has like 8-9 pairs.
Yeah, he's sponsored by Curry brand.
Don't have as much cushion as he claims because there isn't a single shoe reviewer that will ever say that they have great cushion or great bounce. He is the only man I have ever met who has said that.
Man.
So
You're selling the Currys? You're selling the Curry nines?
Yeah.
Bro's selling the Curry nines?
So I'm like, wait, how do I phrase that?
And I like
you're
the
selling
shoes,
you're
man.
gonna
They
sell
look
you're
nice.
selling the
They're
Curry
nice,
nines.
but they don't have as much bounce as he claims they
So
do.
you're selling the Curry nines.
I'm just saying, I'm selling the fact that you capping on the fact
Nah,
that
man. Do you
they're
own any?
not-
Do you own any?
I've tried them on, and
You tried them on. Okay.
and they're very dense.
Nah, bro, they got plenty of bounce. Plenty of bounce, super comfortable.
If you go and wear testers, if you go with Dr. Zach, the top 2 shoe reviewers in the world, they will say they're very dense. I felt that.
We're gonna have to ask a professional dunker about this.
Ask
I know a guy.
Ask De'Aaron Fox next show, on the next press conference because he used to be a Nike guy, right? Ask him which shoe has more cushion and more bounce.
Well, look, okay.
next one.
I think I know his answer already.
I know what he's gonna say, but
LeBron's shoes have plenty, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're worse, but like
You
they're
almost claim to me that you think they're very
comparable.
comparable, and like they're not comparable.
Buy a pair and wear them, and
No.
tell me what. Report back.
Did you test your vertical in it? Because that's what Jerry did.
Hey, shout out to Jeremiah who actually made the shot
Yes,
on
sir.
the last game.
Yes, sir.
That's
we
my
should
boy
put
right
that
there,
in
man.
Thank
You got my good film work. Hey, he didn't want to post my first video I took
okay.
of him, but
No, but I did address it. I did address it in the
okay,
caption.
okay,
I said I had a
okay,
rough
yeah.
night the night before.
He did.
Missed the first
Yeah.
shot in a while, and
My
then
bad.
just
So
I'm
he's
hating.
50%.
Yeah, my bad.
Hey,
50%.
No,
pretty good.
No. I've been making lots of those shots.
Oh,
No.
We
we
just
got
started
on
this
film.
on
Yeah.
film.
On-
Yes, on
when
film.
it
yes.
matters.
It's a
When
new,
it matters.
It's a new trend. Yes, on
Okay.
film, 50%.
50%.
But we be making plenty. You can ask the bartender adjacent to the trash cans.
Hey, you good like
He
that?
You like that,
he
huh?
watches all the shots. He hypes me up. So
We gotta ask
man.
him.
you be
Yeah.
asking him. He'll tell you I make
ask
over
him.
50% of my.
I gotta
shows.
ask him what's the strongest drink he got.
Oh, he'll tell you.
Classic
He'll
Mark
tell you.
Haynes.
That's crazy.
Classic
gotta ask
Mark
him.
Haynes.
But this has been episode 6 of the 3 in the Paint podcast. Thank you for joining. Leo Biaz, Jeremiah Solomon, Mark Haynes.
Yes, sir.
Great episode for y'all. Comment, subscribe. All that helps the channel. Tell your friends about the podcast, and we'll see you next time.